So the next Battlefield, Battlefield 6, is finally a real thing. And part of that is just returning the form of Battlefield 3 and 4 after 2042 went how 2042 did. Because, yeah, it wasn't good. But a big part of that is the destruction. And it's not the only thing, but it is a major part of it. Same thing for the finals. Not really in the return to form sense, but in a sense of that's what really stood out about the game was that they had this just massive level of destruction. Ironically, it is made by former DICE devs, DICE being devs of Battlefield. They're now at Embark, which is the developers of the finals. So for them, it's like, can they do what we did? We're gonna see.
Not to like compare the two, but
that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I mean, Battlefield 6 and the finals, these are like the two main games with destructible environments, at least online games, that aren't developed for PS4s and Xbox Ones. It took a long time for that to happen. So now that the shackles are off, we can see what it's really looking like. For the finals is on older consoles, but they didn't do that till like after the fact. So it wasn't made for that purpose in the first place. Also, any gameplay you see that I use in this video for Battlefield is from the beta. So if you're seeing this when it's fully out, just know that it probably not gonna look all that different. The game drops in like a few months. So yeah, the major difference between the two games with the destruction is just how they went about developing it. Battlefield 6 is state-based, just from a clean, like good put together state to a damaged state or a destroyed state, whereas finals is just physics-based, like Red Faction Guerrilla. So like if you shoot a chair or like a AC unit on the side of a building, it'll go from its good state to its bad state. Glass will go from pristine to shattered. Same thing with lights, you can shoot out lights. And it's not all like super cookie cutter like that. Like with doors, you can shoot out parts of the door. You can blow up parts of a wall of a building, like things like that. And then when buildings fall, it's usually just like a set animation. But the fact that you can destroy buildings in the first place, that buildings are falling, I like that a lot. It just adds to the immersion of being in the middle of a war zone. When a building does fall, the rubble can actually become cover. It creates like a little hill. And that rubble itself is actually physics based as it's falling. It'll like hit each other. It might hit a car that's on the ground. The car will get destroyed in the state to state way, but like there is some physics based stuff mixed in there. And also with explosions, it'll create little craters in the ground that you can go prone in and use them as cover. But with rubble, if it's like a smaller amount of rubble, it'll usually just disappear. And in the beta, it's not subtle. It disappears like pretty fast and like abruptly. So that's something I think that could be better. Also, just like more variance to animations, like with things collapsing and falling and all of that. And the channel Dark Space, he has a very detailed video about all the destruction in the beta. So if you want to just like get like into like nitty gritty, you can watch his video. I'll link it in the description. Jeez. Now the finals is physics based. You can't really predict how things are going to fall. They actually updated it again pretty recently, but like there's a building on the Kyoto map, for example. It's like the centerpiece of the entire map and it's very tall, a lot of floors, and the thing can just collapse entirely. You can take out the base of it and the entire thing will fall. Like the heavies have a charge and slam ability where they can just straight run through walls. There's C4s, RPGs, thermal bores, a breach charge that you're probably never gonna see if you play the game, but it is in the game. And when a piece of a wall falls in front of you, like it's gonna stay there, like it's gonna be in the way. Fighting in destroyed buildings can get odd, and which is why like the climbing in the game is very lenient, because like it's just all types of a mess in buildings sometimes in that game. But one thing about it though, when rubble falls on you, it doesn't hurt you like at all. In Battlefield, it does hurt. I feel like it should kill you. Like if a building falls on you, you should not be surviving that. But maybe that'll change, who knows. It's also worth mentioning the DMAT where you can just temporarily take away a wall or like the floor above you and just like have the things fall, stuff like that. It just contributes to it. But overall, it's not like preset animations that you can predict. You probably learn like how people tend to go about destroying things, like the habits of like when someone's gonna charge through a wall or like when someone's gonna demat the floor when you're trying to steal a cash out, things like that. But that how things get destroyed, it's not just one size fits all at all. So now that we got this established, right, for Battlefield it works because the purpose of the destruction is to add variance and to add immersion. Variance in a way that the map is not going to be the same at the end of the match as it was at the beginning. There's going to be plenty of just buildings that aren't buildings anymore, or craters in the ground, tanks are just blown up in the middle of the map, jets, helis, all of that. And then with the immersion, it's just like you're hearing all of the infantry, all the tanks, all the jets, you're hearing buildings fall down, you're hearing all the gunfire, all just contributing to the feeling of being in the middle of a war zone. Now, on top of that, it just looks good. If it didn't look good, they'd have to just scrap it and try again. But yeah, I think it works for Battlefield. It doesn't need to be where you can just level everything, because especially with tanks rolling around, on certain maps, you might just end up fighting on flat ground at one point because everything's just been cleared out entirely. And since it's not physics based, it might even contribute to the game being optimized the way it is, because the finals hasn't been known to just beat the brakes off CPUs everywhere, and that just hasn't been the case with Battlefield so far. Now, how it can hinder Battlefield is in the predictability of it, just knowing exactly how things are going to fall or get destroyed or crumble can take away from the immersion, and also just the more you learn about how things fall, like you kind of use that to your advantage when trying to fight people as well. Now, how much that predictability affects the game, only time will tell with that. It's only been a beta weekend. I don't really know. So yeah, we'll see in some months or a year and some change how much that has really affected people playing the game. But at the same time, like, you got COD, no destruction at all. Maps look the same before and after. And people have been playing COD since a very long time. I mean, people still want to go back and play the maps from Black Ops 2. The maps ain't changed. When that come out? This one that came out, and people still want to play those maps as is. So like, it may not even be that big of a deal. We'll see. I mean, there are a percentage of PlayStation owners that only buy Call of Duty. There's probably a percentage of people that only have Call of Duty, Madden, and 2K, or maybe just COD and 2K. Like, there's some people just don't care like that. And would Battlefield 6 benefit from having a physics-based system? They would benefit for sure, but like how much? Hard to tell. Could just be diminishing returns. Like, it could be a whole lot of work and a whole mess of optimization for just like not much of a reward, you know what I mean? And as is, Battlefield 6's destruction is still really good. I do think the finals is better, but I think the finals has like the best destruction in a multiplayer game ever. So saying that Battlefield 6 isn't as good, like, okay, it's not like the craziest thing to say, you know? It's not like a major saying like Battlefield 6 destruction is bad, because it's not bad. It's just in comparison to the finals, like Red Faction Guerrilla, that game stood up, walked, started running so that the finals could like sprint in the Olympics, you know what I mean? So yeah, Battlefield 6 would benefit from a physics-based system, but does it need it? No. I think the finals does need it. I think that's a major separation point. That and the cash out mode together did wonders, because like, whether you are mainly in the Battlefield or you're mainly into the finals, I don't know where you reside watching this video, but for the people that like the final, like, they really rock with the finals. But yeah, Battlefield 6 doesn't need it. What it needs is to not have a 2042 launch. That game launched like dirt. So we need that not to happen. We also need EA not to do EA-esque things with the microtransactions, because Apex Legends. Yeah. So that shouldn't be the case, that this game is going to, you know, not make a lot of people mad. And also just content output doesn't need to be like rapid fire on some Fortnite stuff, but it does need to be like things that are adding value to the game. Not just skin number 60, but like, you know, a new map every once in a while, tweaks the guns, tweak the shotgun for one. Oh my goodness. But yeah, things like that, I think it'll be solid. Because if they're really trying to get back to Battlefield 3 and 4, I feel like they're doing that. I think they're doing a solid job. So what do you think? Do you think Battlefield has the best destruction? Very good. Not so good. Destruction. Is the finals the best to ever do it? The best there ever was? Or was this all a plot just to put the finals back on your radar? I don't know, man. What I do know though is that the finals does their microtransactions very well. I called it perfected. And I made a video explaining exactly why. It is right here. You should watch it. Bye.